In the days of old, you had Elijah, you had Moses, you had Enoch, you had Noah, you had Abraham, all these people, Joshua. And what do we remember about them? The scripture says they were the friend of God, they walked with God, no one was like him whom the Lord knew face to face. So many different terms and descriptions of them. But we know this in our hearts without a doubt, that they were people of prayer. They spent time with God. And somehow or another, we know and just have an inner sense that that was the key. That was part of the key, anyway, to them being close with God. We know these things, and we harp on ourselves, and we exhort each other on a regular basis to pray. But, well, it doesn't seem quite so easy. So, it seems as if we look with admiration on these heroes of faith, and we say, wow, they got it right. I wish I could get it right. I wish I could be that disciplined, is usually the word we use. I'd like to challenge these beliefs. I'd like to challenge them. It says that Elijah was a man similar to us. He had like passions, a like weak nature as a human being. But he prayed that it might not rain, prayed fervently, and it didn't rain. Surely he's a superhero. And yes, he is a superhero, no doubt about it. But at the same time, does that mean that we're, quote, off the hook? Does that mean that we are pretty well consigned to, now I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep, or other kinds of less powerful praying where we just don't feel like our prayer's impactful, and we don't really feel like we're really that close to God. We do our duties, we do our chores periodically, as it were. But intimacy with God, being a friend of God, being close to God, having God answer our prayers in sometimes spectacular ways, but certainly in ordinary ways, is that our portion? Is that our heritage? Jesus says in the Gospels, ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened. But you say, well, that's not the way my life is shaken. My Christian life is shaken out. I just keep asking and nothing happens. Or someone says, prayer is boring. I can't stand going to these prayer meetings and rehearsing these lists of needs and then checking back and figuring out that not a single one of them sometimes was answered, and those that were answered, I'm kind of wondering whether it's just chance. What about these objections of our hearts? What about these complaints that we have about our life of prayer? How do we frame this, and what do we do? Do we just, in discouragement, check out from this whole prayer thing and say, well, it was for a few who really did it well, but I guess it's really not for me. It's out of my reach. It's not in my comfort zone. I don't have enough self-discipline. Is this the kind of self-talk that might be going on right now with you? Let's have a paradigm shift. I'd like to challenge us to have a paradigm shift. We'll come right back to discuss that.